November 2 day, State Pura there earthquake disaster or ekta mega mock drill exercise lo ase. Nagaland emergency preparedness exercise nimite. Idu drill do morning 9 am day shuru hobole ase. Aji do opor day press conference lo IB idu laga sawo.
This year we will be simulating the event of earthquake. And we are looking at 16 districts participating in it. Therefore, almost all the government machineries, all the line departments at the state level and the district level will be participating in it. We will be also being the community first responder, we call it, and in the national term it is called Adamitra, the community volunteers whom we have trained them for the disaster search and rescue operations. They will be also participating in it. We also have school children who will be participating in it. Now whenever we bring the school children, NSDMA has an objective, that is involving the school is we are creating safer generation next. We will be also the village disaster management authorities. Some of the village disaster management authorities will be also participating in it during this NAPEX. Nagaland is the only state who have notified the village disaster management authorities. Some of the villages have yet to constitute. We are in the process because with the change of the village council, there is transition period there. Those old ones have dissolved and the new ones formation is still in the process again. So the Nagaland emergency preparedness exercise involves almost everyone in the state.
After today's exercise, we hope to cement our coordination between various agencies. We hope to be very clear amongst the various stakeholders as to what their responsibility is. And also, if there are any gaps, we have tomorrow to prepare and address those gaps. The beauty of this NAPEX and this event is that it's the multi-stakeholder event which is adopting an all of the government and all of the society approach which is essential if we have to fight a major disaster successfully. So to that extent, it's not only the government of Nagaland, but it's the central agencies like the Armed Forces, the Central Armed Police Forces, National Center of Seismology, NEST, which is based in Gujarat. All these organizations are also participating both in the tabletop exercise as also in the mock exercise on the second. On the second, we will start off at 9 o'clock by simulating an earthquake, and thereafter we will progress the event in a manner in which actually the action should unfold in fighting the impact of an earthquake in an effective manner. So what is the role of various agencies? How do they get mobilized? How do the various disaster response elements come into action, starting from community response, thereafter by the SDRF, NDRF, the other uniformed forces, the medical aspects, the aspects of damage to factories and maybe to gas storage site of the IOCL, fires, landslides, which are all the secondary impacts of an earthquake. All these will be simulated and we will be acting. At the end of this exercise, the aim is to further improve our interagency coordination, our processes, and the manner in which we respond to a disaster in a very effective manner and have clarity amongst the stakeholders on their various roles.
Yes, we are looking at now inflatable tent house that is on the way, which is coming in, and we are also looking at prefab hospital structures. We will only be able to provide the prefab structure, inflatable structure, but the equipments and other human resources will have to be sourced in from the Department of Health and Family Welfare. Yes, we are already in the process of working on that, so we should be having prefabbed foldable and inflatable hospital structures. And we are refining every year in terms of our, in terms of equipping or in terms of filling up the gaps. But to say that we are fully prepared to face any event of disasters may not be a very definite scientific answer to be given, because the fury of nature can never be measured by human minds. Now the government of Nagaland, the governor has already consented, and the fire safety bills is already in place. Now it is the role and responsibilities of all the public in Nagaland to comply to that fire safety. It's not for the gain of the Department of Fire and Emergency Services, but it's for our safety. So therefore, as part of that Fire Safety Act, which has already been in place, now each one of us, whoever has built the house, will have to comply to fire safety norms. That's one. And I think it is high time that, especially in the context of Kohima, we need to learn the lessons. There has been many big fire events in the recent times, and that is an eye-opener for us to be complying to the fire safety norms and rules that has been notified by the government. Now, in the context of the structure, the Department of Urban Development, Municipal Affairs, is in charge of bringing out new Nagaland building bylaws. That is in the process of approving it, and once that new building bylaws is in place, the safety structural safety will be also in place. But for the old structures, now how do we do? Maybe for the old structures, some retrofitting technologies may have to rock in, and in the context of narrow lane or narrow road which is existing here in Kohima, we will have to find a suitable means of bringing in maybe not a bigger truck, but maybe a smaller truck, maybe customized. And so the Department of Fire and Emergency Services is really looking into that capabilities to respond to the fire safety or emergencies in the context of Kohima, especially with the existing narrow lane.